The first under Siege sample pack, Siege Volume 1. In this video, I'll run you through the pack and show you what's in there and tell you a little bit about the process that went behind creating this. So we have the pack here. As you can see, we have drums, effects, and we have music bits. Let's run through them. First up, drums. We got loops and single hits. Let's start with the single hits. We got claps, hi-hats, closed and open. And then the foundation of our music, kicks. So these are for me like basic ingredients. I created these and I created these the way that I usually do in my productions. So with layering, panning, so you get like nice, good sounding claps and hi-hats. The kicks, of course, no panning, just like quality kicks that cut through your mix. I then use these hits to create loops. So the clap loops is just from the hits. So it's not different claps, it's the same from the hits, but I created loops for the people who prefer just dragging in something. You have a clap loop ready to go. Same for the closed hi-hat loops. And open hi-hat loops. What is different is the percussion loops. These are fresh. I didn't cut them into hits. You can do it if you want. It's pretty easy, but I rarely use percussion hits, so I just have the loops. You can adapt them whatever way you want. That's the way I use it. So that's the way I created this pack. Basically, I created this pack the way I want a pack to be, and this is how I want it to be. So that's why I made this choice. Ride loops. These are fresh rides as well. Same here, I just want to drag in my ride loop. I want to be able to audit them, whatever fits my record, drag it in and be done with it. Shaker loops. Same here, I want to be able to audit them over my record, drag in whatever I want and call it a day. Then we got the top loops. So usually in most sample packs, top loops are loops without the kick. In this case, it's a bit different. So top loops, these loops, they don't use the hits from the single hits folder. It's all fresh sounds, and I made these. Basically, you can use these as background loops. Whenever you create a drum groove with hits or other loops or whatever, these are meant to go behind that. So I like to use loops to thicken up my sound. So these are all very simple, just basic patterns, hi-hat, snare, a top kick, sometimes some shakers. There's no percussion in here, they're clean. So you can use these in every project just to thicken up your drums basically. So let's have a listen. So as you can hear, all very basic patterns, all the same pattern, so they can go in every record without needing to cut anything. So if you want to thicken up your drums, you can just pick one of these and drag it in your project and layer it with everything. So then I went in and I used these top loops to create the full loops, like the top loops that you have in other sample packs. And in this case, they are the no kick loops. So what I've done here is I took these top loops and I layered them with my hi-hats, my claps and percussion. Now, if you want to have the full loop but without the percussion, then you can go into the no percussion loops, and these are the same as the no kick loops but then without the percussion. So that's it for the loops, I think, and the single hits. So we got everything from the drums. Let's go into the effects. We got some atmospheric sounds. Really nice to create some tension throughout your record. A bunch of effects. And then some glitch loops, which are always really cool to add some character and dirt to your record. And then same with some vocals. Then for the music, we got bass, synth, and vocal steps. I'll run you through it. As you can see here, I have 10 bass loops, but for every bass loop, you have the MIDI file and the Serum preset as well. The presets don't show up here, but they are in there. So if you like a loop, but you don't like the sound, then you can switch it, or you can take the MIDI and use it with your own bass sounds. You can change the sounds, whatever you want. The easiest way is just to use the loops. And here you can see the MIDI. So it's only 10 sounds, but as a matter of fact, because you have the MIDIs and the presets, you can do like endless variations on it, which I think is pretty cool. Then for the synths, similar, same story. I got 10 sounds, all with MIDI and all with Serum preset in there as well. I use Serum 2 to create all these sounds, so you have to have that one to be able to use the presets, but they are in there. Some steps, some plug sounds, more plugs, old school chords, some atmospheric stuff, more steps, and then we got a bunch of vocal steps as well, which are always nice to add into your records. As you can see, everything that's tonal is key labeled, and in fact the whole pack is at 128 BPM. I think it's like the perfect middle ground between people that like to produce at 130, 132 and 124. You can, I mean, in Ableton you can easily pitch it up or down to make it fit your record. On top of this, I created this demo, and the full project of the demo is in there as well. So like sometimes you hear a demo, you buy the pack and you're like, how on earth did they create that demo from this pack? Well, in this case, you can just open it up, you can have a look at it. So I used in this thing only audio samples from the pack. So I didn't use the presets and the MIDI files. Everything's audio. And everything's stock Ableton, apart from on the bass I have the Kickstart 2 and the track spacer. Apart from that, you should be able to run everything with stock Ableton. I can play you through it. My kicks, bass, all the drums I used. All the synths and all the effects down here. So as you can see, everything is there. Feel free to open it to have a look at how I create my stuff. Of course, I was a bit limited because I don't have like all my third-party plugins, but I think it sounds pretty good with using just samples from the sample pack and some stock Ableton plugins. If you want to grab the pack, I'll put the link in the description. I'll also put a link there for a free taster pack if you want to download some free samples and have a play with it. Also, it would be good to know what you actually think of the pack. So if you got like any feedback, let me know. Or if there's some specific stuff that you want to see in upcoming packs, also let me know. It's always good to get some input to see or hear what you guys are actually after. That's it for today. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.